through the Corki, which has been, I feel like, has dethroned the Kaisa actually in some of these situations. And of course, the Dene will take that Twisted Fate in the mid lane.
Yeah, and I think the reason for that is the recent items in patch 2.4 that really enabled Corki to now be that strong with that critical damage as well as those spam skills with Twisted Fate to follow through. They want to target onto the tanky champions for Leonites, and Leonites is answering that with a Fizz and Tristana to be able to dodge sort of the CCs coming in from Twisted Fate and Camille. And Tristana is also a late game champion in synergy within Lulu Olaf synergy.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. The fact that, you know, the playful trickster is able to get a lot, cancel out a lot of these ults. And now LAKAN finishing this off with a Rengar and as well as Nami. So big far away engage with the tidal wave alongside with, again, Thrill of the Hunt coming from the Rengar. So we could possibly see a 4-1 strat coming along, maybe even a 2-3 actually from what we've seen back in the Origin series. Leonites as well, though, gonna top this composition off with a Malphite. So their 5v5 is looking to be very strong.
Very, very strong indeed. But the question here is how they're going to play the early game. Because every single champion that they've picked up currently for this draft is hovering into the mid-game, late-game power spike. A Malphite is strong in the late game because they're going for the 5v5 roam. And Tristana is a late-game champion needing to have the 3-core items. Olaf and Lulu, as we all know, is needing that mid-game, late-game phase as well. While LAKAN Esports went in for the Rengar, an early-game champion, especially when you stacked up all your passives. You have Twisted Fate, level 5, Corki, level 5, very, very strong, with Nami as well. So this is going to be looking at a very aggressive playstyle for LAKAN Esports. Now, Leonites needs to be patient.
Yeah, you said it. LAKAN here can use the Destiny and then Rengar and as well as Camille will hunt for their targets deep inside the jungle, and it's just very, very effective. And they can basically rinse and repeat this, making sure that they're all isolated. And meanwhile, for LAKAN, rather for Leonites, of course, this is a very strong 5v5. But also, when we look into the early game, there is that potential for that Fizz for ND69 as well on the Olaf to see if they can take off and snowball in the early skirmishes.
Right, and that is something that we could expect for LAKAN Esports or Leonites Esports as they want to play this out. And traditionally, you have that Baron lane go into the mid lane instead, but now it's going to be the dual lane going for the mid lane to try and impact LAKAN Esports. And how Leonites Esports is playing this, they want early game pressure onto Twisted Fate while he's still at level 1. And just clearing out quickly, you have Viz now being able to have more space to be able to react onto potential team fights that may occur early game. So pretty much right now, it's a standstill. We can expect something big later on. But a question in mind right now that I'm thinking, Rico, is with the Ocean Drake being the first dragon in this game, what do you think will happen at the 4-minute mark? Is this going to be a Rift Herald dominance or a dragon contest for these two teams?
I think for Leonites, the pressure is definitely on them to take the Ocean Drake just because LAKAN has so much poke. The Dene here, and as well as Ison, with again, with all the cards and as well as the rockets. So they do definitely want that sustain in the fights later on. So for LAKAN, we'll have to see if they do want to unlock the lanes for sure. As again, this composition will rely, especially on level 5, the Dene will visit topside, possibly be able to get a kill onto Jash there. And it is a possibility, especially if they want to unlock Tante on the Camille. We're talking about possibly 1-3-1 split push or maybe even the 4-1. Again, Destiny, dive in deep into the jungle. Find someone from Leonites because, again, this composition relies to be all together for them to be effective.
And there's a lot of information, as you stated, onto the Twisted Fate with the Destiny. It also gives you information, right? And the Rengar's ultimate also gives you information on the nearest champion. So I think LAKAN Esports have all these utilities to keep in mind as they're probably going to use it onto the top side right now as Rengar goes in for the dive. That's going to be stunned to follow through. First blood will go to the side of LAKAN Esports.
Yeah, that's a very, very close.
Oh, the follow trade though for the United Esports as Fizz jumps down. That's going to be the chums. The water going in for the knockup. Gets the trade down. It's a 2-for-2. What a clutcher from Sean.
Really nicely done by Sean there. He's able to get double kill, and that's not what you want on a Fizz. And we talked about this before. Both Andy69 and Sean has the potential to be very snowbally, can spin the game out of control. And that's already pretty much one condition down. And it is Sean getting that first kill. On the other side of the spectrum, though, we've got Giannis here that has been able to get the 2 kills as well. So both assassins coming from LAKAN and Leonites is able to get 2 kills. Now, the biggest question is, how will they transition? Because LAKAN, in the mid lane, the Dene, can keep Sean in check with the wave clear. But for Chanis, he can free roam. He is the jungler.
Right, and that is really just gonna be a
Destiny?
difficult question. But what's also difficult is how Destiny is gonna be popped onto the top lane, beating out Jash once again. And you see how Rengar is now scaling into the early game.
Exactly. They're speeding up the process. This is definitely not what Leonites wants. This is going to be very scary because they have to, just as you mentioned, Infinity, fight around these objective fights, especially 5v5s. They would want the unstoppable force coming through, row one with the resets as well with the Tristana, and see if Sean is able to get picks here and there and maybe clean slate once everybody is pretty much low. So for LAKAN, this is where they shine. This is where, when Leonites are pretty much separated, locked into their lanes, is when they can start to pick them one by one with a Rengar now that Janice is 3-1-0.
Yeah, and those two, that is onto the KDA Chinese one, are unique champion skills. So now he's stacking 2 passives already in the 4-minute mark at 10% increased damage potential. So Chinese one, an absolute record of a champion to play against in this early game. And Leonites needs to think, we have to play it very slowly. We're now currently at the 3-2. We don't want to give more kills onto LAKAN Esports as they go for a separate way. As Leonites go for Ocean Drake, LAKAN goes for Rift Herald.
And this is a win for Leonites for sure as well, because again, they want that long sustained fights rather on their side. So the Vamp will increasingly help them. For LAKAN, they want to unlock the lanes. They want to make sure that they're creeping slowly into the jungle of Leonites. But look at this, a fight could ensue.
But the vision for LAKAN Esports into the Tribe Rush gives them the prior knowledge that Leonite Esports wants to go for the gank, but here into the bottom lane, no information for Leonite Esports to utilize. Chump the Wonder, zoning them away, but
look at the flash.
In, tries to get them healed down, but the third damage is just too much. Yeah, the rocket jump is gonna go down, but the trade will go to the side of Detonate, but the third damage is just too much, and now there's a potential to go for the trade once again for Fizz, but Sean is not gonna be a mobile champion up against 3 members for LAKAN Esports.
Yeah, that's gonna be too risky if Sean tried to push the issue there. But this is really nice timing coming from Chinese. He was basically everywhere. He's able to prevent the fall of the Dene. And look at him now. He's 2-0-2. He's basically everywhere in the map. And this is the strength of LAKAN's composition. They are able to make active moves around the map, even at the 5-minute mark. And we get to see now Zonia's Hourglass being that early pickup. It's that soft counter. Once you get hit by Chum the Waters, just press stasis and you basically mitigate that ult from Sean.
And also some of the successive burst damage potential coming from Leonite Esports, from Olaf, from Tristana, that can really just put a huge part for Twisted Fate, picking up the stasis and chat. But here into the top lane, LAKAN Esports is doing it once again with a Destiny in. That will be a successful attack from LAKAN Esports, putting down Jash time and time again, but Sean is just too late to the party to be able to try and get that trade off. So LAKAN is going back away with a free kill on the top side of the map.
Yeah, Leonites is having a difficult time trying to catch up to LAKAN's movements here, as Andy69 coming from the back.
Yeah, going for the Ragnarok to actually gain more mobility, to actually go in and get the kill. Corki will fall, but the Tower's Blood already came through for LAKAN Esports.
Yeah, not even you being able to use that Rift Herald to get that first blood tower. So LAKAN can just keep it cool and utilize that later in the mid lane.
Trail the Hunt jumps onto Sean, goes for the Wild Road to sustain much longer, but the delay will not put his life into a more prolonged state, as LAKAN Esports' damage is just too much to handle, and now they're going for the Rift Herald into the mid lane to try and get another turn.
Yeah, the Dene and Chinese have been, look at that. It's not going to be another fight, I suppose. Yeah, it's going to be too risky. I mean, Leonites has lost the following skirmishes so far. So I bet their mission is just to protect the tower. Make sure that there's no second charge.
Jash, once again, is going to be pinned down, but alongside that one, Andy69 will fall to the hands of LAKAN Esports. And you have Rengar just being too much to handle. That is a 2-for-0 trade.
This is already starting to look like it's snowballing out of control. Leonites has no answer to this Rengar so far, especially, again, the lanes. While the lanes have been unlocked, that means LAKAN can slowly creep into the jungle of Leonites and basically plant down deep vision and see whether or not they can basically get a pick or two. Leonites, of course, we'll see if they'll try to contest this dragon. Again, this could be served as a hotspot to pull in, reel in a potential 5v5, and this is where they will shine. Well, we'll see if LAKAN will take the bait and decide to go for that 4-1 as we see Tante just split pushing a top side.
This is their composition. You have a 4-1 setup, and you have a Rengar that's already so fed that enables them to do such moves like this.
Righteous
Get
Glory.
those guys up and running. But now it's going to be Ragnarok from Andy69. Tries to go for the trade down. It's going to be the 3v2. You have the Wild Growth up and running already. That's sustainability for Andy69. Destiny will be casted down. Tidal Wave will go for the 2-man knockup. Destiny into the back lines. Go for the stun. Undo the Tristana. And that will be a clean house for LAKAN Esports as they eviscerate the Unites Esports.
Yeah, you said it. LAKAN is clean in that execution, in that fight. And the fact that, again, Andy69 wasn't able to get a kill despite activating the Ragnarok, being very close to Chandi's. Look at that, though.
Oh, what a play from the stun that disables Sean to go back away after he jumps in. What a nice, clean play from LAKAN Esports.
And LAKAN is getting cleaner and cleaner, and they keep getting away with this. Leonites, unfortunately, are not able to exchange anything off of the map. And now LAKAN is rewarded with this dragon. That's going to be the first dragon for them. But this just hurts Leonites even more. Getting that movement speed in will enable the roams, and they have been doing this time and time again. And they can rinse and repeat because it has been working.
Yeah. You just have to do it. Leonite's is really relying for that late game power spike, but LAKAN Esports' playstyle in this early game stage, they cannot have that easy power spike as their winning condition. So LAKAN Esports is just playing right with their task list of really punishing the United Esports in this early game. And Chansu is wanting to go for more. Chinese won. Is trying to get that kill down, but there are 3 members to go in for the United Esports Tidal Wave, going for the knockup onto Tristana, gets a kill down. That's going to be a knockback coming in from
Unstoppable Force
coming through for the Valkyrie, but you have all these power from the United to now make it back away as they take 2 out of that. It's now a 2-for-2. The fight's not going to be over. Twisted Fate it's just hovering around the top lane. Chomps the water, we're going for the knockup, but the stasis will save the Denny's life. The knockback will not come through.
Yeah, that's the power of the stasis for you. Look at that. Sean's gonna get spotted here.
But are they
the gold card!
It's just gonna do that. Detonate is gonna be flashing away. Exhaust will slow Sean's life.
Yeah,
that's it. 0-for-0.
Yeah, that is a very textbooky result there. You know, the gold card Detonate just wanted to put it on Sean. Okay, playful trickster there. Is able to cancel it out. That could have been very, very crucial, or rather, that could have ended up in a way that LAKAN wouldn't want it to be, considering the fact that Dedenne was pretty low. The third dragon of the game, though, will be the Infernal Drake. So Leonites, of course, they want to get as much as get buffs as much as they can, because for me, Leonites can still rely on Sean. He has been able to get those early kills for the team, and LAKAN, they like these aggressive pushes. They like these aggressive attempts inside the jungle of Leonites. So every time Sean is there is an opportunity to punish.
And I think it's just dependent onto this massive CC coming from Chomps the Water and that mobility as we keep on emphasizing onto Sean. But here into the bot lane, is Josh gonna get pinned down once again in this late of a game? Forcing out the flash means that he can flash Unstoppable Force later on. Huge win for LAKAN Esports.
Yeah, they were able to bait that out. That means the flash, as you mentioned, the flash Unstoppable Force will not be available in the following fight, possibly here on this Baron. And now that the bottom lane is super open, Destiny getting popped just to teleport to the mid lane, just to see whether or not LAKAN will be able to get that fight in the Baron. But yeah, more space. Meet at the bottom portion of the map. Passive super minions are just creeping in. LAKAN therefore has more space to work with for the Baron take.
And it's just an important buff to take in for LAKAN Esports to finish this game off. The inhibitor turret is already open into the bot lane. when they get the Baron buff, they could continue to push this through and finish the game. So I do believe that Baron Nashor currently is going to be the end gaming factor for LAKAN Esports. And Lee Knights is potential to make a comeback. But you have TT's now coming up for LAKAN Esports, going for the tidal wave as well.
Teleport.
Go for the two-man knock-up. Trail of the Hunt going in, but unstoppable force goes for the knock-up onto Chinese. And Chinese will say goodbye. LAKAN Esports is now on the members' disadvantage. And 2-9 will fall though. Two junkers not going to be available. Special delivery goes for the knockback.
There
Double
it is.
kill for Tristana. Here we go. Tristana is making miracle
Double
plays,
kill.
but row 1 is very low. Sean is low. Denenez is still at full HP, and Ison as well. They're looking for a hunt here. Row 1 go for the recall. That's gonna be the Valkyrie missing out a shot, but he
still.
goes in for the face check. That was a clutch. 2 forever. LAKAN Esports is able to take one more down. Now Denenez going for the 1v1 into the bot side of the map. Sean tries to defend the base, but this is gonna be an ace for LAKAN Esports instead.
And that is a crazy 1v1 between the Fizz and the Dene. He is just massive right now on this pick. And with that, that opens up LAKAN to get to the Baron. And not only that, possibly even going through to get that Infernal Drake. No one can contest from Leonites as we see Andy69 moving closer and closer, but the Dene is there for the zone.
Right, and Camille is there as well. The Hexic Ultimatum is ready for Tante to be able to impact Leonites Esports if they want to go for the contest. So that is going to be an easy take here for LAKAN Esports. So now, Leonites need to go and play the defense. What do they need to do here, Riku, to survive a bit longer?
They do have at least a decent amount of wave clear, I suppose. I mean, Tristana may perhaps a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Especially that LAKAN is going to enable this 2-1-2.
Rengar, Trail of the Hunt. But it was just for information. They don't want to fight it. It's just, you know what, 1v1. All of goes away easy.
I just want to run away. It is a massive lead now. It's a very, very massive lead on the side of LAKAN. Now they just want to siege. Look at row 1's positioning, though. A little bit tricky over there, being very advanced. Possibly just wanted to get beat early and clear down the wave. Look at Sean.
Oh, chomps the water. Denene is going to be knocked back. No, but Stacy's entrance saves his life. Now tidal wave. Go for the knock up. Row 1's going to get killed by that tidal wave. What a play from LAKAN Esports. Is now going to be 2 members remaining for Leonites Esports to go and play defense. But Baron buff is available for LAKAN Esports. Goes for the top of all force though for the Malphite. Jash tries to go for the defense onto the top side of the map, but he will get melted down by LAKAN Esports, and this is going to be game 1 for LAKAN.
What another showing coming from LAKAN Esports.